What up, YouTube? I know, it's been a while. It's been a while. Oh man, yeah. Sorry. So biggest thing that I've been kind of battling right now is Final Cut Pro. Now, it's not like for whatever reason it hasn't been updated in forever, and there's just been so much kind of going on with that. I've tried uploading videos and it wasn't working. I woke up this morning and for whatever reason I had like comments on YouTube. I had people asking me for help. I was like, what is going on? Everybody's asking me where I've been, what's been going on, why haven't I uploaded? All I can say is I'm very, very sorry. I know it's been an extremely long time before, since I've uploaded anything, and I definitely want to throw out some really cool shout outs and stuff like that to different YouTubers, hopefully here in the near future. But definitely, Chaos Galaxy, go check out his channel. He's been hooking up with some really cool stuff. He's about to launch a game on the Game Crafter. Definitely check him out. There's been a couple other YouTube, Chaos Gods, I believe. Really awesome stuff. Card Armies is coming back. A lot of people, Jack Worthington. Oh, good God, man. He hooked us up on Facebook and it's just been like non-stop. We got Home Brewery Games doing some new stuff. Hopefully going to be launching some stuff. So I'm really excited to see what's going on. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking what I've been doing. I've been making games. There's going to be one thing in common with the games that I'm about to show you is they're not TCGs. It's not that I've steered away from TCGs. Without TCGs, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do what I've been doing now. But they're board games. Retro City Rumble, yep, it's changed. It's not Retro Rumble anymore. Now it's Retro City Rumble. Essentially is a card game. Most of my stuff are card games still, but they're not just they're not tradable. There's no point in trading them. There's a bunch of stuff involved with the rules, but it all comes into one. One little package here, and that package is all you need to play the game. So that's what I'm trying to go towards nowadays, because if the package is cheaper, me personally, I like buying everything in one box and knowing everything's in that box, and I don't have to go around looking for, I need that pack or I need that specific card. I don't have to do that with these. It's all contained into one box. And that's why I love board games, is they're so unique in that way, where I don't need electricity to play them. All I need is just this one box. So without further ado, I kind of want to show you guys what I have been doing. And what I have been doing is a lot of stuff lately. I've been making plenty of games, tons of different stuff, tons of different ideas. Retro City Rumble, as you guys know, is a quick card game. Essentially what it is you get 2 decks of cards here, and each one of these decks contains one single card of a specific type. So they all have the exact same cards, so whatever's in here is in here, but they all have, like, if this one's got Kid Nitro but only one Kid Nitro, this one also has Kid Nitro but only one Kid Nitro. So a lot of them have each card is very unique in that way, and they play very, very crazily, as in, well, we got Razorpunk here, and of course you got the name and then the picture, and then you've got how much power and then what skill it has if you play it, or if you decide to play it as a fighter. Now, you also decide to play it as an action, which is represented by this exclamation point, or as a trap. And then traps are very Yu-Gi-Oh style, play face down in front of you, and you can only have 5 fighters in play, or 5 traps. Actions act as a one-time use. As soon as you play this action, it is immediately discarded. The one unique thing about this game is like I said, everybody's got their own deck, and once you go through an entire deck, like if I get my deck down to 0, I lose the game. You don't want to lose all the cards. So you're essentially, anytime you take damage, you remove cards from the top of your deck, and that goes into the discard pile. Now, the one really cool, unique thing about this game, besides that, is a couple of the different abilities. And I kind of talked about some stuff before, but one of the cooler abilities that I've recently come up with is Energize. Now, Energize used to be something that you could heal, but now, say you do some damage to me, alright? I have to remove some cards off the top of my deck. And if a card with Energize is removed and from my deck to my discard pile, any card with Energize immediately get put into play as a fighter. Not as an action or a trap, but as a fighter, which is really cool and unique, because it kind of is like, oh, man, I took damage, but at least I'm still getting stuff out there to give me at least a chance to get back into this game. So, Energize, really cool ability. Anyways, alright. That's Retro City. Hopefully that will be out soon if it's not already out. I don't remember if I actually published that one, but that one should be on the Game Crafter. Now, another card game before I get to this one. Another card game is Master of Disguise. This one's a really cool, unique game, and this one's a party game. My first party game ever. What? Yeah, Master of Disguise is really cool and unique. So essentially what you're doing is you're going to be giving everybody a role card, and they'll be the exact same role card. So if I get a role card, maybe it says police officer, all right? And my neighbor next to me has police officer. Everybody at the table has police officer except for one. That's the Master of Disguise. One person's disguised themselves as a police officer. Now, it's a hidden role game. I don't want everybody to know what I have. Because the big thing is if the Master of Disguise finds out who you are, he wins the game. But if you can figure out how or who the Master of Disguise is, then you and the rest of your police officers have won the game. So essentially inside this box you have all these different envelopes, alright? And in these envelopes you have a stack of cards. The top card of which will always be the Master of Disguise, and you place that one down. And then for this example you have the baseball player. Again, all of these are the exact same card, and the reasons I decided not to go with a picture here on this Polaroid picture is because, again, we're all sitting at a party-like table, and it's very easy if the Master of Disguise is playing and he peers over and says, oh my god, that's definitely a baseball player. It's a lot harder to see that it says baseball player on here, so a little less cheating involved. Not saying that people are cheaters, but I've been there, I've seen some stuff. So anyways, so everybody's given a card, and one person's given this Master of Disguise card. So if I like go up to, we'll just say Jim. Hey Jim, now my job when I'm asking questions is to ask a yes or no question. And you want to stay vague because at any time the Master of Disguise can shoot back and say, are you guys the baseball player? So stay vague. So say, hey Jim, do you like, this is actually hard. Are you big on strikes? That can mean many things. Maybe that can mean like construction workers on strike or anything like that, but we're talking about baseball. So I'm asking Jim, does he like strikes? Now he can shoot back a yes, a no, or a maybe. Alright. And then if he says yes, oh yeah, I'm big on strikes. It has to do with throwing a strike when you're pitching the ball. So he'll say maybe yes. And that maybe indicate in my mind, alright, yes, he's the baseball player. And he might ask Jennifer, alright, Jennifer over here, do you like bats? Alright, now we're getting a little too specific, but she might be like, oh no, I don't like bats. That's a red light right there. Baseball has a lot of bats. You're hitting balls with bats. So essentially, she might be the Master of Disguise. She said no to that. There's a good indication that she might be a Master of Disguise. Now, during the game, all you have to do is just say at any time, alright, I think Jennifer's the Master of Disguise. Anybody with me? Now, everybody has to raise their hand. Everybody. It's not just a majority. It's got to be everybody. So, if everybody thinks that Jennifer is the Master of Disguise, everybody raises their hand, everybody reveals their cards, and the Master of Disguise, if it was Jennifer, everybody else wins and gets a point. Now, at any point, Jennifer, if she was the Master of Disguise, especially with that bats question, she could say, oh, you guys are the baseball player. And if she gets that out before everybody else figures out, oh yeah, she's definitely Master of Disguise, she'll get the point. So it's a very fun game. Some of the questions are very bizarre. I've definitely played this actually a lot more times than probably any more of my games. That game is a hit. Like, people love that game. It's crazy. So, the next game that I've been working on is World of Etheria. Now, this is my newest game. This is my first time I've ever made a board for a game, like a big board. It's a deck building game, very similar to games like Ascension and Dominion and Star Realms, Hero Realms, all that fun stuff. So inside this wonderful game here, you'll have the cool board and all this fun stuff. So essentially, in this game, you and all the players, say we're playing a 4-player game. Everybody is a creator, and you're trying to become the creator for this world of Etheria, essentially being the god of this world. But everybody's gunning for this at the exact same time. You can't have 4 creators. You can only have 1. So essentially, what this is we crack this open here. You have now. you have all these different components here. You've got dice, which are pretty snazzy. The box doesn't come included, but inside this box you have all the mana crystals here and then all the pawns that you'll be using for the board there. Then of course you've got different cards that you can purchase from the store. So you get these fire gems, and then also the fire gems will help you buy more stuff. And then it also helps you with attacking. So essentially it's like a form of currency that also helps you with attacking different monsters that you find in this world. And then you can also give people poisons, which essentially just clog their deck. Alright. Now I'm only speaking to the people who know what a deck builder is, because I don't want to go through the whole thing. If you are interested in knowing what a deck builder is, Google is your best friend. Alright, you can also buy spells, which are pretty cool because these don't get shuffled into your deck. They just stay on the play always. And there are certain cards that can remove spells from the game, but spells, very awesome. A little, not too expensive. They are 6, but alright. And of course, you've got your starting cards. Now you'll be starting your hand with 2 of these Magic Mancers, and up at the top you have an attack and a defense. Now you'll always get these no matter what, and essentially you want to meet or beat a monster's attack and a monster's defense. So your numbers have to meet and beat their attack and defense. All right. Here's the gold cost. Of course, these are your basic starting hands, so it's cost of 0. Now, each card also has an ability. Now, here's the big thing with this. You just don't get the ability. You have to work for it. This one is free, though. But it says right there that it costs a mana, and it's a mana of any color. So if I rolled these dice right here, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this one's blue, so I can use this blue to activate this ability to reroll any one of these other die. So that's kind of cool. Now you also get, you get 2 of these guys, and then you also get 8 of these gold coins, and that's going to be your form of currency in this game, is the gold. So that's what you want to use. Now, getting into this stuff. Now the big thing in this game is Mancers. Yes. Now to form, avoid that picture. To form the world of Etheria, there's all the elements that come into play: fire, water, air, dark, light, disco. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of fun stuff in this game. So the only way you can do that is hiring certain Mancers. Yes, Mancers, to do your bidding. So you need to hire these Mancers to help form this world, and these Mancers will offer you attack. Very much like this Chronomancer. He's the Mancer of Time. He's going to cost 2. He's going to give you 0 attack. The green guys are very weak in attack, but their defense is pretty good. And then there's that ability. It does cost 1 green mana to play Time Warp, but you get to draw a card if you do so, essentially making your hand much better. Alright? Green cards will help you manipulate your deck in many different ways. Yellow cards are really good at building up gold and more currency for you to spend. They're also very tricky and screwing your other creators over. They're really like, here's some gold, and then you slap them in the face. I like the yellow cards. The blue cards are really good because they're really good at buffing up your stats. So if you were at 1-1, maybe if you paid that mana, you become a 3-3, becoming stronger. And then the red cards are really good at going through and discarding cards from your deck or banishing cards from other people's decks. They're kind of like, they're not so much a slap to the face, they're just trying to whittle your deck down to make them more useful. And they're also good at discarding other people's stuff. So if they drew a hand of 5 cards, you can say, well, discard one of your cards. Any one of their cards, but you discard the card. So they're really good in that. They're pretty good at attacking as well. Just to showcase a couple of these other cards here, we have the Luxmancer, which is the Mancer of Light. And here we have, it's a cost of 2, and it has Holy Light, but you're gaining, you gain 3 gold to use this turn, which is pretty awesome. He's a 1-1. Oh, the one thing with the yellow cards, because they do give you gold, they do slap your opponents around all over the place. They tend to be weaker, so this is just a 1-1, not very strong. We have the Cryomancer, of course, the Mancer of Ice. This is a 1-1 as well. Now you might be thinking, oh, why is this one so weak? Well, Blizzard, that's what I'm talking about right there. Blizzard, you'll gain +2 attack or +2 defense towards a monster, and this will cost at least 1 blue mana and then 1 mana of any color, so pretty cool. The Necromancer, I'll just hit that light, pretty hardcore here. We've got the Mechromancer. He's good at building technology and robots and all that fun stuff. He's built a Mechanoid here, which will help buff you up for sure. We have the Chronomancer again. Oh my goodness. We got the Hypnomancer. These are the red cards. Again, this one's going to banish cards from your hand or your discard pile, kind of like recycling some of the cards that you don't really need. Now, there's level 1 Mancers, as you can see, and these ones are weaker, all right? They cost less, but they are weaker. Then they kind of go up in level. If I can figure my life out here. All right, here we go. So, then you've got your level 2 Mancers, and these ones are pretty cool. These get a lot stronger. So now you got the Dracomancer, Mancer of Dragons, and now the abilities, might cost a little bit more, and then of course the Mancers cost more with their stats. Now we're talking about 3/1, so pretty cool here. You got the Geomancer, you can do a 3/2, and if you pay for this mana, look at that, gain +2 defense towards a monster. Now you've become a 3/4. Oh my goodness. You have Telemancer. This is one of the greater amazing cards. Essentially you're summoning stuff. Alright, so you get summoning blades by any Mancer without paying its cost. It does cost 1 yellow and 1 of any other color, but holy cow, what a strong card. Amazing card. Very cool. You got the Lithomancer, which is really good. We've got the Umbermancer, the Mancer of Shadows. Geomancer, Hydromancer, of course, really cool. Terramancer is really good. It's a 1/3. It's Constructed Vines. A little bit more expensive, but usually the more expensive the mana, the better the ability here. The Pyromancer is really good at blowing stuff up for sure. The Telemancer again. Now, level 2s are pretty good, but level 3s are just that much better. And they also offer crossovers, and I'll explain here. Now, this one's a red-yellow card, so you're getting the ability of 2 different kinds of colors here. So, with the Clownmancer, he's got Juggling Bombs. He's a 4/0. Now, as I said before, when you're playing yellow, you're getting gold, you're screwing with the other guy. But red is good at banishing stuff. So, let me try to read this one real quick. So, gain 2 gold to use this turn, banish the boss monster, and draw a new monster card. This does not count as a defeated monster. So these ones really cool. 4/0. So not so hot on the defense, but 4 is very, very strong for this game because some monsters only have 4 attack. So you can kill some monsters really easily. So really cool. That's the Clownmancer here. We got the Toonmancer. He's just straight chaos. And even, his ability says it right there, chaos. The 2/2, but good lord. He can gain 2 gold to use this turn. Gain +1 attack and +1 defense towards a monster. Also, you may banish any one rival spell from their inventory. This dude can do it all. So he's good at buffing himself up. He's good at giving himself that gold. And then, as I said, yellow is good at screwing people over, and Toonmancer does it. We got the Spaceomancer, we got the Starmancer, we got the Electromancer, which is just amazing. We got the Soulmancer. The Plaguemancer is one of the best cards in the game. Plaguemancer is a 4/4, so that is extremely strong. It does cost 7, so it's definitely pricey, but you get to draw 2 cards at the beginning of your play. And then also you may banish a card from your hand or discard pile. So the ability is giving you 2 cards, plus you're recycling, plus you're doing 4/4. Oh, it's crazy. Plaguemancer is awesome. So those are a few of the cards from the Mancer section. Now, I know this video is going to be long, but it's alright. You guys deserve the long. You guys have waited long enough. So, also, then lastly, you get the monster cards themselves. Now, you're going to be fighting all of these different kinds of monsters that come up in the game, so holy smokes. So, depending on where they lie on the board, they'll be either a boss, which is how you can trigger the end game, and I'll explain that in a second, but essentially it's a 5/4. You have to, like I said, with all your Mancers all together, you have to meet or beat. So he's a level 1 boss. He's fairly weak, especially when you got that Plaguemancer out. I mean, we're almost beating this boss with just that. And then for the minion side, he's a 3/2. So he's a fairly weak guy, but he's a level 1, so he'll let you go up. Now, this one is a World Beast. He's also a level 1, so he's a 5/4. Big thing with him is he has an ability right here, pretty much stating something that'll happen when he's in the game, or when he specifically played, this effect will kick off. And again, you've got a boss side, and then you've got a minion side. Now, I can kind of explain a little bit better when you open the board. Alright. That's very well. Alright, so essentially you have this giant board here, right? And the board is going to offer all sorts of different things. Now this is your rank tracker. This is your rank tracker right here. This rank tracker is going to show you how far along you are. Now anytime you kill a boss, well, you're going to start your pawns here. And anytime you kill a boss, if it's a level 1, you move up 1 spot. If it was, if I'm starting off at the start, if it was a level 3 boss, I move up 3 spots. So you want to kill the bosses because that triggers the end game. And once you get to the end, the person who gets here gets 10 points. And then any trophies that you get, any monsters essentially that you've killed, you also get points for those. So it's definitely different ways of getting points. In the store, like I said, you can buy those fire gems. You can also buy some poison. And then here, hopefully this makes sense, you have the monsters, alright? Now the monsters are going to come out of this like darker area, this beautiful map here. And when they're in this spot, that's their monster stats. Those are the stats. If I had the monster here, I would get the top stats. Again, those are the 5, 4, and it says right there in the description, it's a level 1 boss. So I will get those stats. Now, when they move over to the minions side, they will have the minion stats, which are down there at the bottom. So you'll have 2 minions in play, and then 1 boss. Alright? And then when you kill a boss or a minion, regardless, if you kill a boss, you move up rank. If you kill a boss or a minion, doesn't matter, you'll get a gem or mana, and that mana is used to power up your abilities. Now in the beginning of the game, you won't have any mana, you just essentially have these dice, and you can only use one of these 3 dice during your turn. The mana, when you kill a purple boss, you get a purple mana, and the purple mana is good for buffing up your spells. Green mana, blue mana, yellow mana, red mana. You get all sorts of different mana to essentially buff up your Mancer. So in the beginning, you won't have all those cool abilities until you start killing some monsters. So you really, it's like, what do I go for? And of course, when you start killing stuff, you're going to get that mana, and the mana will go right here in your mana pool. And when you spend your mana, it'll go into your mana reserve. And then any mana that you have in your reserve at the beginning of your next turn, move back to your mana pool to use again. Okay? This is your inventory card. Every player gets one of these, and there's different colors and stuff like that, of course, to keep track. All the spells will be on this side. Again, those don't go into your deck. They'll just sit on this side, kind of lined up in a row. And then any trophies that you get will sit in a pile right here, and that pile will consist of all the different monsters you've killed. So you'll get points on where you're at in that rank track, and then you get points for how many trophies you have. So if I had 5 trophies and I reached rank 10, I get 15 points. That's pretty good. So that's one big thing that you want to kind of concentrate on, is killing monsters, getting those boss or those rank points. Because you get a whole huge chunk. That's 10 points. That's nuts. So killing stuff, beating stuff up, all sorts of stuff. And then after the very first boss that you kill, man, this is a long video. After the very first boss that you kill, you get a cool creator. So the creator that matches your color. So if I'm red, my creator card will flip up, and I will be able to get this ability. And as you can see on the bottom, there is no mana cost, which means at the beginning of every turn, I can always do this ability, which is really, really cool. And the creators look like that. You got the red creator, you got the green creator. He allows you to draw a card. The red one allows you to banish a card from your discard pile or your hand, which is really helpful because if you think about it, if I'm keep getting poisoned from all these other people who are clogging my deck, this guy's gonna come in handy. And then we've got the blue creator who buffs me up +1 and +1 and +1 attack and +1 defense every turn. So at the beginning of every turn, I'm getting 1/1. It's amazing. And then the yellow guy, he's always going to give me some gold. So those are the creators, and that's essentially this game right here. Of course, you've got all sorts of different bosses and monsters and stuff like that in the monster deck. You also get this epic loot that you can try to get. I'll explain that some other time. But that's World of Etheria. And lastly, my big baby is Quest for the Lost Pixel. Why do I bring this one up? Well, it's because in this one, I've got, well, that's the rulebook. And then we've got this expansion, which is the Catacombs of Etheria, which it's where my worlds are based up. But the new expansion, which is Risk and risk and reward, which is a huge one because oh no, my rubber bands are breaking. It's a sad day in America. But it gives you more dungeon tiles to use. For the first time ever, you get pets, so you get to use some pets in the game. You get some new events, new artifacts. You get set items now, so during some of these dungeon tiles, you'll be able to find a set box, and you'll find some new set gear. So if you have multiple pieces of that specific set, it'll open up new abilities and give you some crazy, amazing stuff. So this is definitely really cool. And I think that's it. Oh, and then I think some new character classes or some new heroes that you can play as. So a lot of new stuff in the Quest for Lost Picture. Again, I know it's expensive, but I've played this now quite a few times with some friends, and I'll just say this. One of my friends said that this was his favorite game, which means a lot because he's played a lot of games, so this game is epic. When you say epic, we're talking about immersive, long, drawn out. This is epic. This takes hours to play, so I don't care. I'm so immersed in just trying to hack and slash and kill stuff and get more loot. I love it. I love this game. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Hopefully you guys have definitely been staying alive and staying creative and just essentially using your imagination to come up with your own games, and I really look forward to seeing some stuff. I know I've been kind of watching videos here and there, and I definitely apologize that I haven't uploaded in a long time, but hopefully you guys are still kicking it and doing some great stuff out there, and stay alive. That's the biggest thing I can say, is this is a community, and don't let me be the pinnacle, because I'm not. I help break news out to you guys so you guys can learn about each other and learn about other people's games. I love kind of I guess marketing my game in a way here on YouTube. I can't do it in the real world, I'm too shy. But on YouTube, this is kind of like my outlet. This is where I can kind of just like, man, this is what I've been wanting to know. Ooh, epic loot, ooh, it's nice. So there's a lot of stuff that I like doing, and I want you guys to express yourselves in the same way if you want to, or if you can, or if that's something that you like doing. So hopefully in the future you can showcase different stuff that you guys do. I love making videos, and I love making games. I was just saying earlier that making a game is like playing a game. It's like, how do I make this work? There's so many questions about, all right, I got this, but how can I make this work with this? It's literally like a strategy game making games, and that's why I love making games so much, is because it's just so much that goes into it, and not a lot of people besides you guys know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I know we're reaching it's like 30 minutes now, but it's well worth it. I love doing this. This is definitely my favorite thing. So hopefully you guys stay classy for sure. Have a great, have a happy new year. Hopefully you guys had a great Christmas and all that fun stuff, and just hopefully this year brings out some really cool new creators and a lot more imaginative minds. So other than that, YouTube, take care, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend.